back to the Back in Time channel. Today we'll be talking about the life of gospel great Donnie McClurkin. Born on November 9th, 1959, the Grammy, Dove, and NAACP winner is one of gospel's top-selling artists with over 10 million albums sold worldwide. Growing up as a kid in New York, Donnie found comfort in music by going to church and through his aunt who sang background for gospel musician Andre Crouch. This was his coping mechanism after suffering abuse by the hands of his great uncle and his son after the family experienced the tragic loss of Donnie's baby brother being struck by a speeding car. As a result of the sexual abuse, Donnie battled with his sexuality for years. The fact that his mom blamed him for his little brother's death also haunted him as well.
The residue of my brother being killed in front of our house at 2 years old, hit by a car following me, and my mother telling me that I killed her son. And then 3 days after, on the day of my brother's funeral at 8 years old, he was 2, the 3 rapes in the one night by my great uncle. That residue stayed with me through the rest of my childhood. It made me, I can't even explain how it was. Because as a child you still had to play and act like everything was okay, but it messed me up. But then when I learned how to sing and play in my teens, 13, 14, the way I would get away from it is I would sit and play the piano and play hymns that we heard in church. So that was always mine. That was always my go-to song, whatever I was feeling. Whenever fear would hit me, or lust would hit me, or, depression would hit me, and a teenage, that was always my go-to, church.
Donnie also had sisters who dealt with substance abuse problems, so for him, the music world was a big escape. Throughout his teen years, he began to form musical groups and do recordings around the year of 1975. He also served as an assistant for gospel great Marvin Winans for over a decade. In 1991, he had a cancer scare at the age of 31 after doctors suggested immediate treatment from sharp pain, swelling, and internal bleeding. But McClurkin practiced what he preached, which was believing in the God he served would heal him. In 1996, his self-titled LP went gold after the release of Stand. He also went on to do 3 solo albums which topped the Billboard charts and landed him more Grammys. One with one of the Clark sisters, Karen Clark Sheard, and he collaborated also with gospel legend Yolanda Adams. In 2016, it was reported McClurkin was to be wed to singer-songwriter Nicole C. Mullen, but the relationship didn't last that long. McClurkin felt as due to his childhood trauma in dealing with the same sex, it was difficult for him to know what exactly women really wanted, and that he would never be in a long-term relationship. He also believed that this is cause and effect from his past, and that it resulted in him stating the fact that he may never get married.
My past relationships were a sprinkling of everything, men and women. I don't know how to do this. And because of that, when things get rough, I go back into my safe place, my music and my ministry. I want to lay down next to somebody that's going to be with me for the rest of my life. I really do. I miss the fact that I did not have the family unit that I could lay next to my spouse with my baby on my chest and be the quintessential dad that raises up a family like I saw in my dreams and I wanted in my heart. So never having a long-term relationship in my life and never being married, my thing is I chalked that up. I'm gonna probably be alone for the rest of my life as far as a mate is concerned. My past relationships were a sprinkling of everything, men and women.
Not really mentioned too often or known to a lot of the people in the public, although it's no secret, McClurkin does have a son that was born in the year 2000. He viewed having his son as a personal failure only because it was out of wedlock. I don't regret my son. I love him, McClurkin stated. The relationship has been in repairing for years because of him not being in his life consistently. But McClurkin has been on a mission to drastically change that. He doesn't want to continue the cycle of neglect that began with him with his own father. He stated that although his dad was in the household, he never spent any time with him, so he seeks to heal and be there more for his son. In 2018, McClurkin lost consciousness while driving and it resulted in a serious road accident. The car was totaled. He thanked God because he said that two human angels followed his car when they noticed he was swerving with blinkers on to stop traffic. He had no memory of anything but being pulled out by the two of them. He says it's by God's grace that he is still here. He also, in the same year, addressed reports of him being under vocal surgery.
Um, it's almost 2 a.m. in the morning here in New York, and I wanted to come on to clarify something. So let's start this day off right. There's been a situation with my vocal cords again. 4 years ago, almost 4 years ago, I had a throat surgery and to remove some precancerous scar tissue. And they dug a little deep in the vocal cord and compromised my singing to a degree. And I lost my vibratory membrane, which slowed my vibrato very much and took away a lot of my singing accuracy and range. But I've been singing since then. And a lot of you remember I went to Bishop Jake's church and Potter's house right before our Festival of Praise tour. And the Lord really touched and really healed me at Potter's house. And I've been singing ever since then, but now it's reoccurred. And let me make this plain. It's not cancer. It's not cancer. It's precancerous. They're going to do some extreme tests with oncologists and otolaryngologists on the 27th of this month. And we're going to see how far it's gone. And what they've seen last week leads them to believe that it may have gotten worse and they want to do another surgery. But they want to do some tests on the tissue and see what's going on inside because they didn't like what they saw. And they know that they're going to have to remove some more tissue because more damage is taking place. Blah, blah, yakety smackety. That's the last word I got last week. And I've been singing and preaching since then, but I can't get rid of this rasp in my throat right now. And they're saying it's a byproduct of this problematic situation. That being said, I've given the total explanation. That being said, just like God did it before, He will do it again. And I'm going to let them do what they think they need to do. And I'll go through the examinations on the Monday and Tuesday. The 20, I think it's the 28th and the 29th. 28th and 29th. And we'll see what they say needs to be done. But the work is already accomplished on the cross of Calvary. I've been receiving texts and emails and posts and calls from so many people not realizing that it had gone to that extent of widespread information. But I want to take away the drama. It is not throat cancer. They want to make sure that it is not. It's precancerous, scar tissue, the beginning stages, and they want to make sure that of that, and they want to ensure that it is not cancerous. So we're going to do tests. So keep me in your prayers. And I will be in California tomorrow, on Thursday, to sing in Stockton, California, Festival of Praise. I will be in Oakland to sing on Saturday, and I will be in Long Beach to sing on Sunday. And don't let this fool you. What God gave me to do, I'm going to be able to do by His grace, as I did last week and the week before. So I just wanted to make this known to everybody for your information's sake. So this way there won't be undue concern, and so that the accurate information can be spread. To everyone who's posted every news article that's been posted, everyone from their blogs or from their websites or from their whatever, I thank you. I really do thank you. It is easy for these things to be dramatized. And, Pastor Shirley Caesar prayed for me on Saturday while we were in Chicago, on Sunday while we were in Chicago. And that probably fast-tracked a lot of people with information. And it's not always accurate, but I understand why people did so. And I thank everybody who's shown concern by your posts and the like. So just keep me in prayer, okay? Keep me in prayer. Prayer for my throat, prayer for my eyes. All right? Love you guys. I just wanted to come on and let you know. Share this with whomever and let them understand. It is not defined or confirmed as cancer. They say it's precancerous scar tissue that's reoccurred from damage to my vocal cords. But I'm still able to sing, and I will be singing, as I said, this week in California. So God is able to do exceeding and abundantly, far above all that we can ask or think, according to the power that rests within us. And I told the people at the church, we've just come off of our fast and prayer for the last couple of days. I told them, we're not going to be believers only. We are called believers, but I'm also going to be called a receiver. I'm going to receive everything that God said is mine. And if I believe, it's got to bring about reception. So I'm going to believe to receive, and I will have.
As to date, Donnie is still doing his ministry alongside other gospel greats. The 63-year-old is currently touring across South Africa and Jamaica with Bishop Winans. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe here with us at Back in Time. But until next time,
this is a good time. Get the stepping. This is a good time. Get the stepping.